Good morning, Digit fam. Adam Doud here, and boy are my arms tired. You see, last Friday at midnight, Beat Saber dropped the long-awaited and anticipated Beat Saber 360 update, along with a new Green Day music pack, which is basically the only reason I would ever listen to a full Green Day song. So, mission accomplished. In Beat Saber 360, instead of blocks coming at you from the front, which is daunting enough sometimes, now they come at you from all angles, and it's just delightful. If not for sleeping and battery life constraints, I might have played that game for 48 straight hours. As it is, it's Monday again, so I have to work, shaving away precious Beat Saber time. So let's get right to it. It is December 16th, 2019, and this is your Digit Daily. So today I have good news and bad news, and I'm going to give you the bad news first. Ads and privacy. Maybe we need some context there. How about the good news first? TVs are getting cheaper and cheaper. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, TV prices have fallen by 16.8% and 13.6% respectively in 2019 and 2018. Need proof? Look no further than this year's Black Friday sales. An LG 55-inch 4K smart TV was $349, down from $700. A TCL 55-inch 4K Roku TV dropped to $280, which is not the great part. The great part is that TV is only $329 normally. So how have TV prices dropped by 30% over the last 2 years? Well, that's where we get to the bad news. Ads and privacy. Yeah, that definitely worked better. First, privacy. TV manufacturers build software called Automatic Content Recognition, or ACR, into their smart TVs. ACR basically uses microphones to record snippets of shows you watch and send it off to third parties who can then identify the content and keep track of what you're watching over time. ACR can also be used to send ads back to your TV to, air quote, sync up with what you're watching. And that's creepy. I've never owned a smart TV, so it's hard to say exactly what that looks like, but the link in the show notes goes into some detail. It's very likely that it's possible to turn off ACR, but most people don't know how. That's assuming they even know it exists in the first place. Terms of service, people. But now we come to ads, and you can bet I have seen those. On my Roku Express, the screensaver touts ads for various shows and services. Plus, the default home screen always has an ad for a show or subscription service on the right-hand bar. Add to that the fact that many smart TVs are adopting Roku as a default interface, and that's a win-win. A win for Roku and a win for TV manufacturers. It's decidedly not a win for you, the consumer, unless, of course, you like cheap TVs at the expense of ads and privacy. Roku is bad, but Samsung seems to be the worst perpetrator here, building in non-removable ads into TVs that cost as much as $2,500. There's a whole subreddit dedicated to things like this called A-Hole Design, and yes, I use the abbreviation there, the subreddit does not. But all is not lost, and the Digit Daily is nothing if not a service podcast. If you have a Samsung Smart TV, you can turn off those ads, at least for now. Go to TV settings and click support, then terms and policy, then internet-based advertisement, and then disable the checkbox that says enable to make the content and advertising on Smart TV more interactive. Another option Tristan points out is just to enable ad blocking via DNS on your router if you have the know-how, and I don't. So while I deal with my inadequacy, let's head into the Roundup! OnePlus is teasing something special at CES next month with an invitation spanning 3 days. Actually, the original invitation says 1.7-1.0, whereas other invitations say 1.7-1.10, which could be dates. Either way, the invitation doesn't say anything more, which is fine. Whether or not it qualifies as special remains to be seen. I'll be interested to see what OnePlus has up its sleeve, considering it recently launched OnePlus TV, and yeah, that probably sends ads to you as well. Last week, we talked about how Samsung had sold 1 million Galaxy Folds. Well, JK LOL, says a Samsung rep. And while Samsung did not release sales numbers to the Fold, Samsung clarified to say it's their goal to sell 1 million Folds. Oh, okay. Well, it's my goal to be on the cover of Men's Health Weekly, and yet here I am drinking Coke and eating Cheetos at 10:30 in the morning. And yes, a $2,000 phone is the technology equivalent of 10 a.m. Cheetos. We actually discussed this at length on the Android Authority podcast this past weekend with the Mr. Mobile himself, Michael Fisher. So if you want some more deets, link in the show notes. C. Scott Brown over at Android Authority asks a simple question: Dear Apple and Android fans, in 2020, can we permanently stop the hate? And judging by the comment section, nope. A ransomware and cyber attack in New Orleans caused the city to declare a state of emergency. This is the latest in a string of ransomware attacks on state and local authorities who are generally behind the times when it comes to technological updates and funding. Because if Windows 98 was good enough for me, it's good enough for government. Fortunately, or unfortunately, depending on your zip code, New Orleans is no stranger to disasters that take out their infrastructure. So while they fend off this attack, government is going back to old, reliable pen and paper, which is both terrible and refreshing. And by the way, kids, this is why, despite the fact that you have a smartphone, you still need to learn math, because every once in a while, stuff goes wrong and you need to know how to make change when the register goes down. Getting back to the whole good news, bad news thing, a write-up in Harper's Magazine showed that the online world of murders for hire is largely a scam. The idea is people log on to the dark web wanting to whack someone, and they find a hitman for hire site and send over some Bitcoin along with the target. The proprietor of the site then takes the money and does nothing because what are you going to do, call the cops? So the good news is, if someone paid money for you to be killed, it was likely a scam and you won't be killed. The bad news is that there is someone out there right now who wants you dead and is about to get even more pissed off. Over the weekend, Fortnite collaborated with Star Wars for a pretty big but glitch-filled event, which saw many people locked out and generally having a hard time, but users who were able to access it got a show. First, the Millennium Falcon got in a dogfight with a few TIE fighters while a fleet of Star Destroyers hovered overhead. Then, the Falcon landed, and a couple of dudes came out and tried to be funny. Then J.J. Abrams' avatar came out and also tried to be funny. Then they played a clip from Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, which premieres this Friday. Oh, and now Fortnite has lightsabers, which is arguably the best thing about the whole experience. You can watch the full video in the link in the show notes, and what's better is, unlike people who watch it live, you can scan forward past the stupid crap on stage. And finally, YouTuber Mark Rober, and it's not the first time he's made an appearance on this podcast, BT Dubs, is a former NASA engineer who designed the original Glitterbomb meant to thwart people from snatching packages from porches this festive holiday season. Well, he's back with Macaulay Culkin himself to design Glitterbomb 2.0 and has a delightful video showing the effects of 1 pound of the finest glitter spraying in all directions, along with a fart spray that, according to testers, smells like you actually ate a turd. It's a rollicking good time and sure to get you in the holiday spirit, so check out the link in the show notes and...
keep the change, you filthy animal.
So that's going to do it for today's Digit Daily. If you'd like to learn more about any of these stories, check out the links in the show notes and subscribe to our daily newsletter on Digit.com. And if you like what you heard, subscribe, leave a review, and don't forget to tell your friends about DigitDailyPod.com. Once again, I'm Adam Doud, Dead Technology on Twitter, and we'll talk again tomorrow.